What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Thursday, February 8th, 2024, and I have another emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 3:01 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from all over the world. I want to start with Asia, though. We have some very concerning information coming out of Asia. So, China's President Xi Jinping had a phone conversation with Russian President Vladimir Putin, and apparently he told Putin that the two countries should pursue close strategic coordination and defend the sovereignty, security, and development interests of their respective countries, according to Chinese state media. He also said that both Russia and China should resolutely oppose interference in internal affairs by external forces. Okay, so he's talking about if something were to happen with Taiwan, the US should not get involved. So it looks like China may be going after Taiwan soon. I find this random phone call to be very concerning, and we know that Putin canceled his meeting with Erdogan, the president of Turkey. So something's brewing behind the scenes. And what you're looking at here is a US B 1 strategic bomber that was airborne this afternoon. And it looks like it probably just landed at Ellsworth Air Force Base. So our nuclear forces and our strategic forces are on high alert. I want to just read to you a little bit about this exercise that was done in Guam with members of the Japanese Air Force, the Australian Air Force, and the South Korean Air Force. They did this massive exercise. They will be doing exercises together for the next few weeks. They did this massive elephant walk with strategic bombers, nuclear bombers, fighter jets. So this is coming from U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, U.S. Air Force, Marines, and Navy, Royal Australian Air Force, Japanese Air Defense Force, French Air and Space Force, and Republic of Korea Air Force participated in an elephant walk for COPE North 2024 on February the 5th. So interesting that France was involved in this as well. So France, Japan, Australia, South Korea, and the US. This elephant walk was a coalition of 33 aircraft operating together to present a united front with allies and partners to enhance integrated deterrence. The United States does not fight alone, nor do we deter alone. Relationships and increased operational capabilities with allies and partners are vital to preserving a free and open Indo-Pacific. Being able to direct and oversee this amazing show of interoperability from Anderson Air Force Base has filled me with awe, said Robert Rennie, air traffic controller. The sheer amount of aircraft and the way our allies and partners operate together with us is inspiring. Okay, so very serious, guys. Okay, all these countries are doing joint maneuvers, drills, exercises in Guam in the Western Pacific. And I want to just share some footage with you guys. Here we have some pictures from this elephant walk. Okay, Australia, Japan, and South Korea and France all participating in exercises around Guam. Look at these fighter jets here. Okay, you can see the B-52s over there. And here we have some more footage. You can see this B-52 being escorted by fighter jets. And here's another picture. Okay, you can see that B-52. So the U.S. and its allies are preparing for a war in the Western Pacific with North Korea and with China over Taiwan and over South Korea. So things are really escalating, guys. Make sure you get prepared as much as you can. Here's another picture here showing that B-52 being escorted. Okay, so massive exercises going on right now in the Western Pacific, and this is in addition to the massive NATO exercise going on right now in Eastern Europe with as many as 90,000 NATO troops. And North Korea has announced the cancellation of all economic cooperation with South Korea. North Korea's state media said that Pyongyang's Supreme People's Assembly voted to cancel all economic cooperation agreements with South Korea. The assembly also decided to repeal laws related to economic relations with South Korea, including the law regarding the implementation of a tourism project on Mount Kumgang. And Chinese CPI has fell to its lowest levels since 2009. So China is in the middle of an economic crisis right now, and this could be why Xi Jinping is talking to Putin on the phone. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply is doing a limited time sale on their 1-year emergency food supply. They're going to drop the price by $700 for this week only. The sale expires February the 11th, 2024. This 1-year emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life. It's all contained within 24 rugged water-resistant buckets. Free shipping is included. $700 off. To get the deal, go to preparewithNYPrepper.com. The link is in the description below this video. They're also doing a discount on the Alexa Pure Pro water filtration system. They're doing an $80 discount. Normally the price is $280. They've dropped it down to $200. And this water filtration system filters out bacteria, heavy metals, chemicals, various types of pesticides and agricultural byproducts. And the best thing is that it does not need electricity to work. It's powered by gravity, so you can take this with you anywhere if you're going camping, if you're bugging out, if you lose power at home, okay? Or you could use this every day just for everyday use to purify your well water rather than installing a special treatment system that could cost thousands, okay? So to get the deals, go to preparewithNYPrepper.com. The link is in the description below this video. $80 off the Alexa Pure Pro water filtration system and $700 off the My Patriot Supply 1-year emergency food supply. Guys, if you buy this thing, you're pretty much set for any scenario. Now, they also have a general store where they sell all kinds of prepping and survival items. They have a wide variety. To get to their general store, when you go to preparewithNYPrepper.com, you click on the top of the page, the logo here, My Patriot Supply. Click that logo, and it'll take you to their general store, and they have everything you need. Okay, so check it out, preparewithNYPrepper.com. The link is in the description below this video. And want to just show some flight paths to you guys. Here we have some unknown reconnaissance planes flying along the DMZ between North and South Korea. Okay, flying back and forth, back and forth. Okay, 2 reconnaissance planes. We don't know what kind they are. And we had a massive amount of reconnaissance last night over Eastern Europe. Poland has put out an alert to motorists. Starting February 12th, there will be military vehicles on highways throughout Poland. Okay, so they're warning drivers that there's going to be all kinds of military vehicles throughout all of Poland. Poland has already set up this massive no-fly zone over the eastern half of their country, from the Russian border all the way down to the Ukrainian border. And they shot down 2 Russian cruise missiles the other night when Russia launched a massive missile attack on Ukraine. So things are really heating up there. Want to just show you guys some closer shots of these reconnaissance planes. Here we have a Swedish reconnaissance plane operating off the coast of Kaliningrad, which is a Russian province. We also have another Swedish reconnaissance plane that was flying back and forth numerous times along the Finnish-Russian border near St. Petersburg, which is pretty interesting. And here we have a closer shot of the Swedish recon plane flying off the coast of Kaliningrad. And then there was some aerial refueler here off the Gotland Island, which is an island controlled by Sweden in the middle of the Baltic. And Sweden has always been concerned that Russia could take over the Gotland Island if there were any kind of a war. And the Finnish government has extended its border closure with Russia until April 14th. That is very concerning, guys. Okay, so you can see the writing on the wall here. And this afternoon, we have a P-8 Poseidon sub-hunter that is currently patrolling off the coast of Kaliningrad. So NATO is very worried about this area, guys. They're very worried about Kaliningrad and the Baltic region and Poland. So something could go down here. Russia could invade the Baltics. They could launch missiles at the Baltics or even Poland. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But Poland is building bunkers along their border with Russia and Belarus. Estonia is building 600 bunkers along their border with Russia. And all the Baltic countries entered into an agreement to build a massive defense line along their borders with Russia. So things are really escalating here, guys. And here's a closer shot of the Swedish reconnaissance plane flying near St. Petersburg. That's pretty rare to see. And Tucker Carlson flew to Belgrade, Serbia from Moscow today after finishing his interview with Putin. And his interview with Putin is going to drop on his website at 6 p.m. Eastern time today. And I'm not sure if I'm going to stream it because of copyright issues. And also, I don't want to get a strike on YouTube here. So I'm not sure if I'm going to stream it live, but you can watch the whole thing on Tucker Carlson's website, okay, for free. He's not doing a paywall for it. And apparently Zelensky has dismissed his top general, Valery Zaluzny, and he stated that now was the time for changes in command, adding that Zaluzny would remain on the team, but that the new commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian armed forces will be Oleksandr Syrsky. Okay, Syrsky was the architect of the first and second Ukrainian counterattacks where they took back those large swaths of territory from Russia in the northern part of Ukraine in Kupiansk near Kharkiv, and then also in southern Ukraine in Kherson. So he's got a good track record. We'll see what happens. And the Senate has just voted 67 to 32 in favor of advancing a $95 billion foreign aid bill for Ukraine, Israel, Gaza, and Taiwan without border provisions. So they're splitting the border package from the Ukraine and Israel and Taiwan package. Very interesting. So the Senate passed it 67 to 32. And Russia's election commission has rejected anti-war challenger Boris Nadezhdin as a candidate in next month's presidential vote. Nadezhdin has been relatively critical of Vladimir Putin's full-scale war in Ukraine when few dissenting voices have been tolerated in Russia. Okay, so very interesting, not surprising. And in the near future, Russia's weapons production capacity will increase. Therefore, the West must respond by developing its own production and show that it is determined to undertake an effective defense operation. This was stated by the head of Poland's National Security Bureau. And here we have some more reconnaissance in the Baltics. Look at this, guys. I mean, this reconnaissance is just insane. There's so much reconnaissance here. It's just getting more and more every single day. And we had British defense intelligence officials saying yesterday that Britain is closer to a large-scale conflict than in many years. This was the headline on the UK Guardian yesterday. We have this fire raging in Perm, Russia. Apparently, a natural gas pipeline was ruptured by partisans, anti-Putin partisans. Massive fire. Look at that, guys. And this is actually not far from that factory where Russia produced all their most famous ICBMs, the Votkinsk factory. It's not far from here. Okay. So I don't know if there's some kind of cell that's operating in this area, but the Votkinsk factory produced Iskander missiles, Scud missiles, Topol missiles. The Topols were one of Russia's uh, first ICBMs during the Cold War, one of their main ICBMs during the Cold War. And they also produced the RS-24 Yars at that factory, and it got hit yesterday. And now this pipeline ruptures not too far from there. So pretty interesting. And we had some air raid sirens today in Belgorod, Russia. So not sure what happened there, but let's listen to this. Look at that guy running. That's funny. And Iranian proxies have hit a U.S. base again in the Al Omar oil field today. And also, the Islamic resistance in Iraq targeted a logistical convoy of the U.S. Army on the international road near Diwania. So, it looks like two strikes on U.S. forces by Iranian proxies today, one at the Al Omar base and then another on a convoy on some kind of road. And Iran's foreign minister Hossein Abdullahian is scheduled to visit Lebanon and Syria over the weekend, which is very suspicious because of all the talk of Israel invading Lebanon soon to take out Hezbollah. And one of the Iranian proxies, called the Jihad and Construction Movement, is now threatening to target American forces in the region and is asking all factions to take the same step. Okay, so other jihadist groups. And U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken met with Israeli war cabinet members yesterday. So we have a lot of diplomacy going on. We have the U.S. Secretary of State in Israel. We have the Iranian foreign minister going to Lebanon and Syria this weekend. It seems like war in Lebanon is imminent, guys. Okay. And when it breaks out, I will be going live. I will do live coverage of that. And Israel has begun their controversial military operation at the Rafah border crossing. The Egyptian Air Force helicopters have been carrying out intense sorties along the border with Gaza in Rafah. And Egypt has warned in the past that any operation in Rafah would be a red line for them. So potentially we may see a war between Egypt and Israel. And Hezbollah claims to have launched 40 rockets towards northern Israel earlier today and last night. Israel has reported serious casualties as a result. And we're hearing that Hezbollah also targeted Mount Hermon, as well as an Israeli army base in Meron. So massive rocket attacks by Hezbollah on northern Israel in the last 18 hours. And the Israeli Defense Forces have eliminated a senior member of Hezbollah on Lebanese soil. So they carried out some kind of strike, or I don't know how they took this guy out. And negotiations will be resumed between Iraq and the U.S. on the withdrawal of U.S. forces from Iraq. Very bad news. It makes us look really weak. And Iraq has now invited the Russian oil giant Gazprom to participate in the exploration of an oil field in southern Iraq, the Nasiri oil field. So we can see now who Iraq is aligning themselves with. Okay, they're basically working for Iran and Russia now. Okay, they're trying to get Americans out. That's why they're attacking our bases. Okay, this is all being planned by Russia and China. Make no mistake about it. Okay, these attacks on U.S. bases are being sponsored by Russia and China as well, because Russia and China want America out of the Middle East. Okay, they want more control in the Middle East. They want to kick us out, and then they want to put their bases in place. Okay, so they're using the Iranian proxies to do that for them. So this way they can't be blamed for it. So very serious times, guys, very serious times. The German Navy is going to be deploying one of their frigates, the FGS Hessen F221 frigate, is going to be going to the Red Sea to join the international coalition against the Houthis. And apparently Hamas negotiators have arrived in Egypt for truce negotiations with Israel. And we have an update on the Marine Corps helicopter that crashed with 5 crew members on board. Apparently, all 5 crew members have been pronounced dead by the U.S. Department of Defense. Very sad news. Please pray for the families of these Marines. And the Philippine Defense Minister, Gilberto Teodoro, ordered more troops and an expansion of military infrastructure on the northernmost Philippine islands of Batan's near Taiwan. So we have more signs that something is brewing in Taiwan. Okay, the U.S. deployed Green Berets to an island off the coast of China. And now we have the Philippines deploying more troops to an island they have close to Taiwan. We have these massive exercises going on in Guam and in the Western Pacific with B-52s, guys. B-52s are nuclear bombers, okay, with U.S., Australia, France, Japan, and South Korea. So something's brewing over there, guys, okay? And apparently there was a leak of some radioactive water at the Fukushima nuclear power plant in Japan. The IAEA informed that water containing radioactive materials was found to have leaked from a cesium absorption tower at the plant. The estimated 5.5 cubic meters of water was assessed to have leaked from a valve left open during cleaning work at the absorption tower. The leaked water was from the system filtering water as part of ongoing decommissioning activities at the site. So that is very, very concerning. And we had another strike on Houthis last night. Here we have a post from U.S. Central Command. On February 7th at approximately 9 p.m. Yemen time, U.S. Central Command forces conducted self-defense strikes against 2 Houthi mobile anti-ship cruise missiles prepared to launch against ships in the Red Sea. Later that day at 11:30 p.m., so that's 2.5 hours later, CENTCOM forces conducted a second strike against a Houthi mobile land attack cruise missile. This is very concerning, guys, that they're now using land attack missiles. Okay, so I don't know where these land attack missiles were going to be going to. Were they going to go towards Israel? Were they going to be going towards our oil fields, our bases? But this is the second time that U.S. forces had to destroy a land attack cruise missile. Okay, so the Houthis are stepping up their weapons. Okay, they're using more advanced weapons now. And I want to just read to you something from the Federation of American Scientists about China's ongoing nuclear weapons modernization program. They posted some findings about the Chinese nuclear forces. They say that China's nuclear expansion is among the largest and most rapid modernization campaigns of the 9 nuclear armed states. And the Federation of American Scientists estimates that China has produced a stockpile of approximately 500 warheads, with 440 warheads deployed and 60 in reserve. So, for years, many experts say many experts said that China only had 300 warheads. Okay, now they're saying 500. And they're saying that Chinese nuclear weapons growth rate is projected to grow through 2035 at the same rate as the last couple of years. So basically, very fast. China has continued to develop its 3 new missile silo fields for solid fueled ICBMs, expand construction of new silos for its liquid fueled Dongfeng 5 ICBMs, and have developed new variants of ICBMs and advanced strategic delivery systems. China has further expanded its dual capable DF 26 IRBM force, which appears to have completely replaced the medium range DF 21 in the nuclear role. So they upgraded their intermediate range missiles. And China has been refitting its Type 94 ballistic missile submarines with longer range JL 3 submarine launched ballistic missiles. And China has recently reassigned an operational nuclear mission to its bombers and is developing an air launched ballistic missile that might have nuclear capability. Wow, very concerning, guys. Okay. So China is really rapidly developing their nuclear weapons. This is a serious concern, guys. Okay. And politicians here in the US and in the Western world, they want to reduce our nuclear weapons while Russia and China are increasing their nuclear weapons. How stupid. And the University of Houston will display a gold female satanic statue to honor abortion and memorialize the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So that's some of the latest breaking news that I have, guys. I will be back later on tonight with more breaking news. I'm not sure if I'll go live or post another video update. I might take the night off from live streaming and come back tomorrow night. I'll see how I feel. And I'm not sure yet if I'm going to stream Tucker Carlson, just because of copyright issues and potentially YouTube strikes. So I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with that, okay? But until later on tonight, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.